and running them, unless, maybe a poor family. And I think everyone's been thinking about it, and is the better question, are more gun laws what we need? Well, some people would say, yes, that's what we need. Some people would say, we need to enforce what we already have. We don't need to put anything new on the books. And there's other people saying, well, that's the Second Amendment. You can't do that. You have to have guns. And, I'm realistic. I don't think that we can get rid of all the guns in the society. That's not going to happen. And people are saying, well, if you're going to bring the criminals out more because they're going to have access to the guns. I think what we can talk about is, and some people are doing that. I think there is no answer to this. Usually I'm very strongly opinionated on something I talk about here, and this time I'm really not. I really can't come down on a side on this. I'm having to come on a side because there is just too many options, because you know what? What we saw happen last week, it's going to happen again. It's going to happen even worse. That's just the way it is. And America here, the most civilized country in the world, and look at what's happening. I think that maybe we just need to re-examine some things, because it's going to happen again, and let's look for a compromise. Maybe that's the best. That's all I'm going to talk about that for today, because there is no solution. But we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to get into all these things we have to talk about today. First, we're talking with the AAA Pregnancy Center after this.
This portion of the programming was made possible through a grant by the Captain Loomis Hotel and Restaurant. The Captain Loomis Hotel and Restaurant is located at 540 Main Street in Clarion and offers dining as well as a nightclub. The restaurant and nightclub are open 7 days a week for your convenience. Call the Captain Loomis Hotel and Restaurant, 226-8400. This portion of the programming was made possible through a grant by Clarion Office Equipment. Clarion Office Equipment on Greenville Avenue Extension in Clarion. They can handle all your office equipment and computer needs. They are open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can call Clarion Office Equipment at 226-8753.
It's not just about making plans. It's about making a difference and taking an interest, not just earning it. At Edward Jones, it's about more than investing. It's about knowing you.
My every hope, my life, my world, it all begins with a dream.
Edward Jones, investing in you and your dreams.
In Clarion, see Gary Martin, located on Main Street. Phone 226-7896.
Welcome back to Feedback. I'm Mark Despotakis, and as I said, a lot of things coming up on the show today, but right now we're going to be talking about the AAA Pregnancy Center with Diane Fagley, director there. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, let's start off with, what's the center?
Okay, we are a nonprofit organization. We provide free pregnancy tests and confidential counseling to women in the community here on campus or in the general Clarion area that either are pregnant, maybe have just had a young baby, or someone that might suspect that they're pregnant and would like to have some counseling as well as the free pregnancy test.
Okay, what does AAA stand for?
It's Agency for Alternatives to Abortion.
Oh, okay. So you're promoting, are you always promoting, or are you generally promoting always having the child, or?
What we like to do is provide information to the client so that they can make an informed decision for her life as well as the life of her unborn child.
Okay.
Obviously that decision is up to the mother, the client, but we try to inform her on fetal development, abortion techniques, and the various risks that are involved in that.
Right. So, you're a nonprofit, so
Correct.
Where are you getting all the funding to do this?
Well, we have a lot of people in the community that support what we do. So we have individuals, businesses, and churches that financially support us on a regular basis, and then we do hold a couple fundraisers throughout the year.
Okay. Take us maybe through if someone's coming in and they think, yeah, you know, I may be pregnant, it wasn't planned. Take us through, if they come to you, what your organization does for them.
Okay. Are you saying this if the test is positive and they already know
Yes.
that they are pregnant?
Yes, but they weren't planning it. let's
Okay.
say.
If the woman is not planning this and it is a crisis situation for her, we would obviously offer to be there emotionally, spiritually for her, but then we can also help her with things like diapers, baby clothes, baby furniture, maternity clothes, things like that.
And you're offering counseling
Yes.
as well, so.
Yes.
And I imagine that's a pretty large part of what you're doing.
Yes, it is quite a bit, and it's interesting to find that even though when the girls come in, we're total strangers to them, but they are very open to share what their situation is, and I think looking just for someone to sit down and take the time to listen.
Is there maybe an age group that you're seeing generally more coming in, or?
We probably see more clients in the age of 18 to 19 up through maybe 23, 24 years old.
So, I mean, that's university age. And
Correct.
Are you able to get the word out to the campus, the students, or
Well,
is that a problem?
Not as well as we'd like to. We do see some students. We're in the college directory. We advertise in the Clarion Call, have some posters around, try to do what we can, but we are looking to try to expand that.
So how many people do you actually have on staff
There are 2 of us on staff, and then everybody else is a volunteer. We have volunteer counselors and other support personnel.
So are you finding that there are you know, people out there who maybe want to volunteer to come and help counsel? I mean, are you accepting volunteers?
Yes, yes. We are always open to volunteers. We have about a 20-hour training period that the counselors
you're
go
providing
through.
that.
But we find that there are other women in the community, and we do have some men that are involved that have had maybe a similar experience, and they would
Right.
like to, you know, kind of give back when they've been helped in a crisis situation.
Right. Are you finding that a lot of them are single mothers? Is that maybe part of the demographic?
Yes,
Really?
yes. Most of our clients are single.
So that adds another element to it.
Yes, it does. If we have a woman that would come that her test is negative, we do counsel on abstinence, encourage chastity, but we recommend that she save her sexuality for marriage.
Right. Well, you know, I imagine there are so many possibilities, so many different cases that you're getting. Is there a standard or normal case that you see most frequently? Like maybe a single mother, is that what you see often?
Most often it is a single mother, and we do find that most of the clients that come do respect the sanctity of human life, and they do want to carry their children, and a lot of times they just need that encouragement and know there is some help out there for them.
Well, how about maybe the father of the child? Are you counseling with them as well?
If the father of the child, the boyfriend, whatever the situation may be, if he comes to the counseling room at the initial visit or at a later time, yes, we're open to talk to him. And we do have some men that have gone through the training process, and they've been able to speak to these young men too.
So how long have you been with the Pregnancy Center?
I began as a volunteer in 1992 and then just came on as staff in July of this past year, 99.
So how did you, I mean, whatever prompted you to get involved with this?
Well, I guess just wanting to help, knowing that particularly the teenage and the early years growing up, being a woman, it can be hard, it can be challenging in relationships, and knowing that you know, some women don't have their mom to talk to or a close friend, so wanting somehow to reach out in that way. And I started primarily visiting some of the churches in the community and speaking about the Pregnancy Center and letting them know what we do.
Oh, so, I mean, is that still something that you're doing there? Is the Pregnancy Center actually going out and talking to maybe church groups or school groups?
Yes, as a matter of fact, yesterday I visited 3 United Methodist churches, Callinsburg, West Freedom, and Perryville. They'd had a baby shower for us, and they also donated diapers over Christmas time. So I went out and personally thanked them and told them about what was happening at the center and kind of encouraged them in their help.
So you're saying the churches are helping you. Is that generally the organizations you're seeing helping you further? You know, maybe you're sort of helping each other in that.
Well, I would like to think that we are helping one another. A lot of our help does come from churches, but we do have some businesses and individuals that are very faithful in sending
Right.
their financial support. And then our two fundraisers, we have an anniversary banquet every year, and then up to last year we had a walk-a-thon, and last year we had a bowl-a-thon. So that helps us out
Right.
too.
That sounds like fun.
It is. It was.
How are you planning that again?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
What are you doing? Maybe like, well, okay. Let me pose this question first. How can people come to you for help? What are the channels they need to do? Maybe where are you located? How can
Okay.
they call?
We're located at the Clarion office complex, which is on South 7th Avenue. We're in the ground floor of that building. They can just stop in there, or they can call us at 226-7007. It helps if they have an appointment ahead of time, cuts down on the wait, but if it doesn't work out and they just show up, we'll try to work them in.
And if someone wants to come and volunteer, the same information applies?
Same information.
Okay, so we're about out of time here, but a lot of good work being done there, and you got to do things like this to get the word out. So
Right. We appreciate that opportunity.
Thanks for joining us.
All right. Thank you.
We will be back for talking with someone from Judy Elkin, actually, not just someone, Judy Elkin from Community Action right after this on Feedback.
This portion of the programming was made possible through a grant by Curly Tires. Curly Tires is located on Greenville Avenue Extension in Clarion. They offer a wide variety of tires to meet your car or truck needs. Curly Tire is open Monday through Saturday. Call 226-6657. That's Curly Tire. Phone 226-6657.
This portion of the programming was made possible through a grant by Timberland's Restaurant. The Timberland's Restaurant is located near Interstate 80 and Route 68 in the Holiday Inn. The Timberland's Restaurant is open daily 6:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. and from 4 to 10 p.m. Call 226-8850.
This portion of the programming was made possible through a grant by the Pizza Pub. The Pizza Pub is located at 1306 East Main Street in Clarion and offers radio dispatch delivery. Call 226-8721. The Pizza Pub is open 7 days a week for your convenience. Phone them at 226-8721. When other stations are showing their boring programming, only one station is bringing news coverage closer to home.
Now, so you'll hear first on 5.
Every Tuesday and Wednesday night at 8 p.m., join the area's news leader, TV5 News. Tune in for the latest in local, regional, state, and national news. Plus, with our newspaper exchange partner, the Clarion News, teaming up to bring news coverage closer to home every Tuesday and Wednesday night at 8 p.m.
Welcome back to Feedback. Continuing our busy night here. Joining us now from Community Action is Judy Elkin. Judy, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start off with the basics here. Maybe someone said, what, Community Action? What's he talking about? Yeah, tell us, what are you?
Well, basically, we're a nonprofit social service agency, and we've been designated by the Board of Commissioners to be the lead provider of a wide variety of services to help the low-income and economically disadvantaged and also the educationally disadvantaged.
So, what do you operate? I mean, you're helping them, but how?
Well, through providing, we have a variety of programs. We help them and offer adult education. We have what we refer to as our emergency services programs, which can help them with food, rent, utility assistance. We have weatherization programs. We have child care programs. We have domestic violence programs, homeless programs. So there's a wide variety of services that are out there for those individuals.
Well, how big of an organization is it then?
Well, we're a bi-county agency, so that means we have a main office in Punxsutawney, which is Jefferson County. The two counties are Jefferson and Clarion. Although we also have offices in Punxsutawney, Clarion, Brookville, Du Bois, and Clearfield
It's a
counties.
pretty big agency then.
We're growing.
So, well, how long have you been around? I mean,
Well, I've been around. The agency itself has been around since 1965.
Oh.
So we've been around for a long time.
Yeah.
I've been with the agency for around 7 years as Community Services Director.
So it's a nonprofit.
It's a nonprofit agency.
So,
So where do we get our money,
yeah.
right? Well, actually, we receive money from both the federal and the state governments and also through the county. With some of the projects, a lot of times you have to write a proposal, and the project director writes the proposal to whichever funding source that it may be. Could be Department of Ed, could be Department of Ag, whatever. And then each year those proposals have to be submitted in order to be able to receive the funding. Not in all projects, but in quite a few.
Right. Let's talk maybe, what exactly are you doing on a day-to-day basis in the office?
Well, that could
Well,
be a lot of
is
things.
there a normal day?
No, there really isn't, because it could be a number of things. But on a day-to-day or on a regular day, the case managers in the Clarion office could be meeting with appointments that have already been set up. They could be doing needs assessments on the phone, talking to individuals that have called in or that have been referred. They could be talking to other agencies for referrals. People can drop by to receive what we refer to as Title II or surplus food, which is the food commodities program that we help them with. So between the 3 case managers that work at the office, it can be with phones, people, meeting people, calling people, helping people that just walk in for services. It can be a busy day.
So how many, I don't know if you know any exact numbers, but how many people are you
Serving?
seeing? Yeah.
Well, depending upon the program, if it's food assistance, I did bring some numbers in regards to one of the food programs that we help with. It's called a state food program, and that's where they come in and we assess them. Some of the programs do have income eligibility guidelines. Some do, some don't. The income eligibility guidelines for what we refer to as our state food program, where we give a food voucher, an actual voucher to them, which is like cash. It's a piece of paper that once we determine their eligibility, how many are in the household, whether they're adults, children, and so on, then we issue them what's called a voucher, and they can take that to a local grocery store and redeem it the same as cash. That allows them to get their fresh produce, like the vegetables, the milk, the bread, and stuff like that.
Are there limitations placed on what they can purchase?
There are some things that they are not allowed to purchase, such as tobacco products, pops, a lot of deli foods, those types of things. And of course, it has to be, the basis for the program is they are to purchase food that provides a nutritious meal for their family. So that would include like the fresh fruits, vegetables, and stuff like that.
So it's your agency is deciding if they're eligible.
There is an income, that's the actual funder that sets the income guideline. The income guideline for like the food programs and a lot of the emergency assistance programs, such as the rent and mortgage and utility assistance, as well as the food, is what we refer to as 150% of poverty. Now that probably doesn't mean anything to you, but for an individual, let's say a family of 4, you could make up to $25,575 for a family of 4 and still be eligible for those programs. Family of 2 would be around $16,875, I think is what it is. So there are some income guidelines based on that.
Okay, are you seeing a demographic or a certain group of people that are serving you most, that you're serving most? Not necessarily, I understand those people maybe with the lower incomes, but for your other programs, like you were saying, adult education, is there guidelines for that as well?
The adult education does not have any kind of, the only particular restriction in receiving adult education services is that you do have to be you have to have dropped out of school. You cannot be currently going to high school and adult education classes. So the only criteria is that you are a dropout of school. But there's no income guidelines for that. And then for that particular program, they're assessed. They determine what their educational needs are. And then our programs are, we have classes that are in Clarion County, in Reimersburg, and at the VOTEC. And they're taught based on what that particular person's goal is. So it's not like a typical classroom. There are individual goals that are worked on, and teachers work one-on-one with individuals, not in a classroom setting. There might be some groups sometimes, but you work individually with your goal with the instructor.
So you're not at the end going to maybe get a degree?
It depends on, yes, that's true. You don't, just because you don't have a high school diploma, that the GED is the only thing that we offer. It depends on what your need is. We can offer computer, we can assess help someone pass their CDL, for their commercial driver's license. So it depends. It depends on what the person's need is as far as the education goes.
How can people come to you for help?
Well, a lot of times they can call the office themselves based on whatever their need is, so they can call and set up an appointment for whatever it is that they want. They can be referred to the agency through other organizations or agencies. In fact, a lot of times we do receive referrals from other agencies for assistance for their clients. And as long as they meet the eligibility requirement of the funder, then, you know.
And are you getting volunteers?
Yes, there are certain times of year that we need volunteers, donations. A lot of times with the emergency, especially the emergency food programs, the only things that they can buy are food products. There's a great need out there in the community for personal care projects, personal hygiene, cleaning projects, diapers. Diapers are very expensive, and it's very difficult for people to be able to afford them. So we always need those types of things donated. And of course, Clarion, I think, is a county that's been very good, I think, to community action. We have a good group of people that do donate to the agency, especially during the holiday time. That's really appreciated.
All right, well, you know, we're out of time. Thank you.
Already.
Thank you for joining us. And I understand that your phone number is on the screen right now. I'm not able to see it. What is the number?
226-4785, or the toll-free number is 1-800-997-7661.
Okay, so I think those might have been up on the screen.
Great.
You'll see them at home. All right. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We will be back talking about. We'll be back after this.
This portion of the programming was made possible through a grant by the Carpet Barn. The Carpet Barn is located at 470 South 5th Avenue in Clarion. The Carpet Barn is open Monday through Saturday for all your carpet needs. So call the Carpet Barn, 226-7332.
Standing out from the crowd is easy when you stop in at Fashion Bug, located in the Clarion Mall. Whether you're looking for junior trendy, girls, or fashion for women, they have it all with many different styles. With our newly expanded shoe and accessory department, you're surely to find that special touch to enhance that new outfit. And if you have a fashion question, our experts are here to help. That's Fashion Bug, located in the Clarion Mall, just off Exit 9 of Interstate 80. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. till 9 p.m. Sunday from noon till 5.
This portion of the programming was made possible through a grant by Fox's Pizza Den. Fox's Pizza Den is located on Old Route 66 in Clarion and offers all-day delivery. Phone 226-5555. That's 226-5555. Fox's Pizza Den is open 7 days a week for your convenience. Phone 226-5555.
Portion of the programming was made possible through a grant by Mulligan's Lounge. Mulligan's Lounge is located near I-80 and Route 68 in the Holiday Inn. Mulligan's Lounge is open 7 days a week for your convenience. Call 226-8850.
And welcome back to Feedback. Push it on through here. Our third segment now. We're talking about Severa. Bonnie Straley is, say it right, Straley? Straley, yes. Okay. I'm confused. Bonnie Straley from Severa is joining us, and, you know, what in the heck is Severa?
Severa stands for Clarion Venango Educational Resources Alliance. Now you can see why we call it Severa.
Severa, right.
What we are is one of 7 community education councils. We're through the Pennsylvania Department of Higher Education, and we're part of their Rural Education Initiative.
Oh, okay. So you're funded through the, I didn't realize that you were through the Education Department. That's interesting.
Pennsylvania Department of Education.
Councils. What is that?
There's 7 councils. The counties that they are in are Warren and Forest, Corey, Elk and Cameron, Potter County, Lawrence County, and the new one in Schuylkill County.
Ah.
And Basically, the councils were started in a way to try and help balance the inequities of education and training that's available to businesses when they're in a rural area.
Right.
The majority of the councils do not have a system of higher education within their council. Seabury is unique in that we actually have three. We have Clarion University, the Venango campus of Clarion University, plus Pitt Titusville.
Oh. So, okay, so just make sure I'm getting this right. There are these councils in the state. Is it the state broken up essentially into 7 districts? Would that be, I mean, I could maybe just to give
Not really. There are some areas of the state that have no councils at all.
Okay.
The majority of the councils are in northwest Pennsylvania because that is where they identified the need to be.
Oh, okay. So, how big is it? How big is Seabury, not, the whole council thing? How big is just our area?
Seabury covers Clarion and Venango counties.
Oh, so that's
why it's called Clarion Venango.
Right. So, I mean, how many people do you have working?
Working for us? There's only 3 of us. It's a small operation. We have Scott Eckert, who is the executive director. He's in Venango County, and we have 2 assistant directors, Joanne Wheeler and myself. Joanne is in Venango County with Scott, and I just came to Clarion County in March.
Oh, so what is the role then that you're playing in our community, in the Clarion Venango community?
Seabury's role is as a broker or a facilitator of training and education needs. Basically, we access information that the Pennsylvania Business Calling Program has gotten from visits to the businesses. And through different questions that they ask them, they can identify training needs and that the businesses have. We also work with the companies themselves. We work with schools and agencies and individuals, and we try and identify training and education needs that they have.
So that means then you're working with, you're working with Clarion University?
Well, yeah. In fact, we are collaborating on a couple of different projects with Clarion. In the beginning, I think there was some maybe fear or problem that maybe we would be trying to work in competition with Clarion University. But really, it's just the opposite. When Seabury identifies a need, we first go out and check to see if that education is already available, whether through Clarion University, through the Learning Center, or through any other agency. And then we will just direct the companies to that person or to that group. It's only when the training is not available that then we go out and get somebody to actually put the training together.
So, I mean, you say when you assess if there is a need, a need for what?
Well, right now the businesses are saying that they have a need for e-commerce training, that they're interested in how can they develop their company into being an e-commerce business. And so that's one of the programs that we'll be working on in the future here is putting together a program that will show businesses first what the opportunities that are available to them online, and then possibly putting together the resources in that to help them complete their business plan, for going online.
And then so would you go to, the university or one of these other, or are you only dealing with higher education?
No.
So, I mean, it can be school districts as well.
We work with the Clarion County Career Center for some adult training. We've worked with the Manufacturers Association of Northwest Pennsylvania, which is in Erie. We've also worked with the Industrial Resource Center. So we have a lot of different resources we can work with, and which makes it great for Seabury because we're not stuck in just one.
Right.
With one group.
So then you're, back to the e-commerce, you may be going into the university and saying, what are you guys doing for e-commerce? We've talked to businesses, this is a big thing.
Yeah, well, right now we're working on 2 different projects with Clarion University. One is the Clarion County Tomorrow Building Better Communities program. I'm working on that with One East Vega. And then we're also working on the Clarion County Job Fair with One East and from the Department of Continuing Education, and with Connie Laughlin from Career Services.
Okay, I want to get into the job fair actually in the next episode. We're going to talk about that. But this Clarion County Tomorrow program,
that program there was put together because of problems that people were seeing in Clarion County of businesses or groups working together. A lot of it had to do with their former commissioners, but some other programs, getting the Career Link off to a good start in that. Businesses just weren't, and organizations especially, were not used to working together with other agencies. So I got together with Juanice and we put together a 9-session program that helps people. They're all skills that people need when they're working together in a community, whether it's a work community or a business community or an education community like a school community or religious, or even just a geographical community. We started out with 9 programs. Like I said, they run the second Tuesday of each month. The first one started off with how to build a better community, and that was led by Barry Dank, who is the director of the Center for Rural Pennsylvania. Then we had 21 flavors of good government, dealing with difficult people, dealing positively with change, active listening.
Wow.
Our next session is next Tuesday, March 14th, and it's dealing with the team concept. And who is going to be presenting that is Dick Castanway, who is the director of Venango Economic Development Corporation. And he was really fundamental in pulling all the businesses and organizations together in Venango County after Quaker State left.
Oh, that's
then after that program there, we're going to be having verbal and nonverbal communication, how to collaborate.
These are the things I'm hearing about in my classes now.
Yes, definitely, definitely. They're really skills that everyone needs, no matter where they're at.
Right.
And another thing that's great about it is the classes are being offered free of charge because we've gotten businesses and organizations to sponsor the program.
Okay. So, I mean, who's it open to? Can I go if I want to go?
Anybody who wants to go. All you have to do is call C. Vera's office, which is 226-0626, and register. And that's just so we know how many chairs to set up and how many donuts to buy. And it's held at the Clarion Moose Club, and from 9 to 11. And it's every Tuesday, second Tuesday of the month.
So, I mean, 2 hours of free information.
Yes, 2 hours of free information, and we've had some great responses from it. One of the benefits that we have seen is we've actually had people there who have never gone through any type of formal training. A lot of our people have been from government, but local government, like your township supervisors and that. And they're really enjoying these classes and programs.
Good to know that they're going to.
Yeah, there's a wide range where classes, the size varies from 15 to 45.
What, really?
Yeah.
So, I mean, 15, I'm thinking maybe you're getting 10 people. 15, that's still, I mean, that's a good turnout.
For Clarion County, that's a good turnout. And like I said, it's been increasing by word of mouth and that, and the programs have just been great.
Wow. Okay. So, coming up, nonverbal and verbal skills, and just how to really make the community
work together.
So,
interesting concept.
Right. Yeah, I've heard that somewhere before. So that's, I mean, whose brainchild was this? Did this come from you? Come from?
Basically, it was just came together through a brainstorming session where we were sitting down and trying to just identify what needs were going on or what things that we saw people needed help with. And basically, it was geared towards, one, the low morale in Clarion County because of the complications in that with the commissioners.
Sure.
Plus, Clarion was working on putting together the Career Link, which calls for the collaboration between a lot of different organizations. And there was some problem there with people, you know, trying to work together. So
we're going to take a break, actually. We're going to talk about jobs and careers after the break, but could you really quickly give us the number again
the number
to
call at Severa is 226-0626.
Okay, so we're going to come back, talk about jobs and careers, and you guys are working at the job fair that's going to be coming in. So we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
We're going to take a break. Be right back after this.
This portion of the programming is being made possible through a grant from the Clarion Agway, located along Main Street in Clarion. The Clarion Agway offers a wide selection of lawn, garden, pet, and farm supplies. They also offer a large selection of power equipment. The Clarion Agway is open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. until 5 p.m., and Saturdays from 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. That's the Clarion Agway, located at 1130 East Main Street in Clarion. Phone 226-9270.
I hang out with a pretty trashy circle, the circle that helps this circle. It starts when we recycle trash at home. It's completed when we buy products made from recycled materials. Check the label for something called post-consumer recycled content. Then buy the highest percentage of it you can find. Complete the circle.
Call 1-800-CALL-EDF for your free Buy Recycled shopping guide. 1-800-CALL-EDF.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brandy. How would you like to give hope to millions of the world's children? UNICEF, the United Nations Children's Fund, is saving lives in over 140 countries by providing kids with medicine, clean water, nutrition, and education. With your help, UNICEF can make a huge difference in our world. For more information, call 1-800-FOR-KIDS. Thank you.
Welcome back to Feedback. We're talking about CVERA, a strange name. I'm Bonnie Strelly from the Clarion Venango Educational Resource
Alliance.
Okay. I really did get the VER part, but the A part, I'm thinking, what? Okay. We were talking a little bit earlier, we touched on it briefly, the Job Center and the Career Center. Actually, right before the break, you were talking about, before we move into the Job Fair, but you were talking about the Job Center and Career Center in Clarion County. How are you guys working with them?
Well, we're working with them to help put together the job fair.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. When is the job fair? Let's get the basic out of the way first.
The job fair is next Thursday, March 16th.
Coming up on us.
Yes, it's being held at the Clarion Mall, and it's scheduled from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Oh, so what can we expect to see out there? Who are you aiming this at?
Who are we aiming this at?
I mean, anyone who's going to come out, or you want to see?
You mean as far as the participants, the people looking for jobs, or the business?
I want a job.
You want a job? Okay, well, we're
university students or community members or anyone.
Well, basically, we're real pleased with the response we've gotten from the business community. We've got 42 businesses that are coming to the job fair, and a lot of them are the top employers in Clarion County. But we also have businesses from outside the county. We're really covering a 4-county area with businesses.
So, I mean, that's great for people to get, they can still live where they live, maybe here in Clarion, and just commute.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who commute in Clarion County, especially with the interstate and that here. Majority of the jobs, though, are going to be in manufacturing. There's going to be some service-related jobs, but the needs are really varied because most of the businesses that are coming have multiple job openings. They're not just hiring for one position.
So, are you going to them and saying, you know, we're going to have this job fair, what jobs maybe do you have lined up, or are you just maybe saying, hey, come on out, maybe get some people interested in working for your company, or both?
Well, we interviewed businesses in the spring to find out if this is something they were interested in, and also asked some questions on, you know, when is your biggest hiring need, which is the spring, where would you prefer it be held, and everything like that. And we first made sure that this was something that the businesses did want before we went to all this trouble of putting one together. And like I said,
obviously
it was harder in the beginning getting people involved in it because this is the first one Clarion's had. So people are sort of a little bit hesitant, not knowing how it's going to be. But now with all the advertising and that we've had, we actually have a lot of businesses coming to us and saying we want to participate.
Wow, that's good.
That's good.
So what are you seeing? What specific, I don't know if you know any specifics, but what kind of jobs are you seeing coming? What kind of companies are you seeing coming
I'll have to go to my list of things. We have human service jobs that are available from Abraxas and Venango Training and Development Center. We have all 4 of the armed services that will be represented. We have 2 temporary services, Manpower and All Seasons. We have 2 insurance companies. We have National Service Company, which is AmeriCorps and Keystone Smiles. I'm sure a lot of the university students are familiar with that. A lot of the students go on to work in AmeriCorps for a while to get some experience.
I've heard, a lot of students, I've heard praise about AmeriCorps.
Oh, it's a great group. In fact, the one that we have here is almost one of the largest in the United States. It's a great
Wow,
program.
that's good.
Yeah, we also have 5 healthcare facilities. We have Clarion Hospital and Clarion Psych, plus Beverly Healthcare, Clairview Nursing and Rehabilitation, and Snyder Memorial Healthcare. So that's a big group. And then they range from wanting RNs to nursing assistants, practical nurses. We have a couple training facilities. We have Bud's Driving School, and we do have a lot of truck driving jobs available. Plus, we have the practical nursing program at the Clarion County Career Center and the Learning Center. But our biggest is in manufacturing, and those are our biggest areas. Carney, Capital Homes, Colony Homes, Commodore Homes, Georgia Pacific, Kitchens, Trailer King Industries, R&S Final Products, Structural Modular, and Temple. And yeah, the who of Clarion businesses.
Sure.
And they're all going to be here. You know, we've also got your food service people. Clarion University is going to be there, and they actually have jobs. We have 2 hotels that are going to be there, plus retail, computer electronics industry, telemarketing. So there's lots of jobs available. In fact, Blair Corporation, which is the call center for the big clothing company, Blair Corporation, called me last week, and in particular was anxious to have university students apply, which their starting pay is $7.13, which isn't bad for just an office job. So if anyone's looking for a job, Blair Industry has quite a large hiring need for this spring and summer.
I think an office job, that's a plus too.
Yeah, yeah. And it's a great job for a communication major.
Yeah, make more I'm making here. So let's say I want to go out to the job fair. What do I need to be prepared with? Anything? What are some tips maybe that I need to go out there with? Okay,
one of the things that we're trying to get the word out about is we would like the people to come prepared and dressed as they would if they're going on a job interview. Because the majority of businesses will be doing applications and resumes, and some of them will even be doing preliminary interviewing.
So be ready for... And we're also asking, when you come into the job fair, there'll be a welcome table. And we're asking you to stop at the welcome table and pick up a map. And the map will show you where all the businesses are located in the mall. Plus, it also has the hiring needs that the businesses have. So, because some of the businesses like your manufacturing may have a clerical need, and you may not stop there thinking that, oh, they're only hiring manufacturing. So you guys you're going to be able to sort point us in the right direction if we're going.
You'll be able to go through the list there and find out who's offering what.
Do you need help? Maybe.
Yeah, we can surely need help. We need some people to help man the welcome tables. Plus, we need some volunteers that would help hand out and collect the surveys from the people. Plus, we need some roamers. We want people to roam around and be available if anyone has any questions as they're going through the fair.
So this is the first year for it, but it seems like you've really put a lot of planning, a lot of thought into making
Well, we've started this in May, and it's taken a lot of work, but I have to say I've worked with a great group of people. You know, we have 2 people from Clarion University, Juanice and Connie Laughlin, but the Clarion County Economic Development Corporation has been instrumental in this, along with the Career Center, New Choices, New Options. They were the people who put together the resume workshops that we held in February, Community Action, Cooperative Extension, the Job Center.
Wow, I mean, a lot. So
it's been a real collaborative effort. So
so that's good. That, that's helping to get the word out, I'm sure. So that's next Thursday.
It's next Thursday from 10 until 7.
So the Clarion Mall is going to be packed.
Plus we're having the C93 is going to be doing a live remote the whole day.
Oh, that's
that'll be good.
And then also, let's recap. We were talking earlier about some of these things you can go to in the community if you want to maybe work on some skills. When is the next one
and where? The next one, that's the community building program, and the next one is Tuesday, March 14th. It's from 9 to 11, and it will be on the team concept.
Okay.
And they need to call 226-0626.
0626. Okay. Thanks for joining us. A lot of stuff, certainly very interesting, and the job fair next Thursday.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us. We'll be right back after this with a visit from the Clarion News.
This portion of the programming was made possible through a grant by the Captain Loomis Hotel. The Captain Loomis Hotel and Restaurant is located at 540 Main Street in Clarion and offers dining as well as a nightclub. The restaurant and nightclub are open 7 days a week for your convenience. Call the Captain Loomis Hotel and Restaurant, 226-8400. This portion of the programming was made possible through a grant by Clarion Office Equipment. Clarion Office Equipment is located on Greenville Avenue Extension in Clarion. They can handle all your office equipment and computer needs. They are open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can call Clarion Office Equipment at 226-8753.
It's not just about making plans. It's about making a difference and taking an interest, not just earning it. At Edward Jones, it's about more than investing. It's about knowing you.
My every hope, my life, my world, it all begins with a dream.
Edward Jones, investing in you and your dreams.
In Clarion, see Gary Martin, located on Main Street. Phone 226-7896.
Feedback starts now. And I said, you know, it wasn't a better name for a movie to come out now, and I think I'm going to make the movie or write the book. It would be a great book to have, and you can call to get her book. You can also find it online. And I have a feeling I'm going to be rather opinionated, people I know. So let's ask them about scheduling. Why is it that students have such a problem here with?
Tune into Feedback with Mark Despotakis every Tuesday and Wednesday night beginning at 7:30 p.m.
We're totally out of time. No time to talk to you. We'll see you tomorrow. And welcome back to Feedback. I'm Mark Despotakis on this special 1-hour edition tonight. As promised earlier, joining us now from the Clarion News, the local paper in town, Rodney Sherman, the editor, and Amy Pryor, one of the reporters. Thank you guys for joining us. And I've already been yelled at from them because I have my stack of papers, and I don't have the Clarion News here, so I was going to show one, but I couldn't even find one in the office. I'm sorry. But that's a good thing. You know, we said that we went to the to get it at the newsstand, and there wasn't any there. So
they go fast.
You got to
really fast.
Yeah, you got to be happy about that. You guys are a newspaper exchange partner here, so we're glad to have you on board.
Glad to team up with you. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, first question is, you know, you guys, Clarion isn't exactly, you know, New York City or anything. So, what's it like covering news in a small town like Clarion?
Well, for me, I'm from Clarion County. I went to school here at CUP, and the things I'm covering are things that are important to me just as a citizen of the county. That's what keeps me here. That's why I really don't care if I move on to a bigger market.
Okay. Amy?
As far as finding things to cover here, although it's not a big place, there is a lot of things happening. Of course, the county and the commissioners keep us going, and there's a lot of issues that are facing the county that are facing bigger places.
You know, sometimes people sort of brush off a smaller paper. I work part-time at one when I'm at home, and everyone sort of brushes it off and goes for the bigger paper. You know, do you guys find that you're having trouble? You know, maybe you're being brushed off like, oh, that's the Clarion News. You know, what do they know? Do you find that at all?
Not here. We actually do. You know, because we're so focused on Clarion County and not just at the county level, but we're big townships and other boroughs. People take us pretty seriously. It's not that we take ourselves over seriously, but they take the paper seriously. They know that we get out to all the schools and as many boroughs and townships as we can, and they take us pretty seriously.
Right. Yeah, you know, that was the first thing. When I came to Clarion, I of course checked out the papers to see, you know, what the area was like, and I did notice that about the Clarion News. There's a lot of the events going on that maybe we wouldn't find out about if you know, read any of the other papers. A couple of weeks ago, I guess you guys had some of a controversy with trying to get into some closed meetings. Explain that to us.
There's a facilities planning or facilities review committee looking at how we're going to handle office space in the county. And we believe those meetings should be open. They set up a committee that, by sunshine law definitions, is not technically required to have open meetings, but we believe because they are dealing with county money, county facilities, that they should be open, and Amy keeps a real close eye on them. If they won't let us in, she'll let them out. So yeah, and there's a little disagreement whether that meeting should be open or not.
So I mean, what have your experiences been having to do that, having to, you know, sit outside the meeting?
It's upsetting that you can't find out what's going on because you're sitting there and you're waiting and waiting, and you know, it's an issue that all the county residents are going to be a part of. It's going to use their tax dollars, so I think it's important that we are able to inform them what could happen. I mean, it's only an advisory committee, but it's something that will affect them. So, you know, sitting outside waiting for them, if I have to do that, then that's what we'll do, and so we get something out of it.
Yeah. Well, you know, coming along lines of that's part of the job. Looking at how long. Well, first of all, how long have both of you been at the paper?
I started part-time nearly 8 years ago, and I've been full-time for the past 5.
I've just been here for 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
And are you originally from the Clarion area?
No, I'm not. I'm originally from Johnstown, and moved to Clarion for the job. Got it when I graduated from IUP and came up here. So it was a bit of a difference for me because I had interned at a daily and had my hopes set on working at a daily. And we were just discussing this today. I'm not sure if I'd want to work at a daily anymore. So
well, yeah,
it's a little bit of a difference.
How does that work? How does that change what you're covering, because you're only putting a paper out on a Tuesday and a Thursday? How does that change what you're covering, or how you cover it?
Well, it's more of how we cover it, because given those deadlines and because we can't beat a daily to press, we have to go deeper. We take the stories deeper. We look into more detail. And it also allows us to get out more away from the county. Like I said, we go a lot of places.
Wow, that's good. Looking back at your years here, any really memorable things that you can, like, because you both seem to say, this is a really nice job, I really like the job. Why do you say that? I mean, what makes you, maybe if there's something memorable, or why do you love it?
You're in the loop for everything. I mean, you constantly know what's going on everywhere, at least for me. When I first started, we had a prison escapee who kidnapped a jail guard. I've been through county budgets, everything, township and borough-wise. Amy's been in a lot of interesting things just in the 2 years she's been here.
Anything you can share with us?
There's a number of things. It ranges from, you know, one of the first things I covered when I got here was a murder trial. And for Clarion County, it was a high-profile murder. You know, down to meeting Chris Kirkpatrick during the Autumn Leaf Festival. So it's different things, array of different things. But you know, I agree with Rodney. You know, we know a lot of things, but then it also carries a curse, because anytime anything happens, everyone thinks that we should know, and it's hard to make friends because they don't want to end up on the front page of the paper tomorrow, and you know, and we've been going since, you know, 5, 6 o'clock this morning, and we're not done yet. We have meetings tonight, and so, I mean, there's different things, but it all pays off. I mean, when you open up the paper Tuesday and Thursday, you know that
see your work and it pays off.
Pays off.
We just have about a minute left. I want to briefly touch on this. Maybe get your opinion on this. You know, last week we saw the gun violence in Pittsburgh, and you saw all the TV stations attack it. What do you know? Obviously, there's been comparisons made to television and newspapers, and how newspapers are able to go more in depth. What is your opinion of maybe how television covers things? I mean, obviously in Clarion, you know, we're the only venue for that, and we're certainly not what you're finding in Pittsburgh. But you know, how do you say that it compares, maybe with television in general?
Well, I'm of course biased towards print, but I think that because TV is so competitive, you got to jump out there and you got to get the ratings, you got to be faster, and I prefer a print report because there's more time and more detail, and you've got time to double check things.
Right. More than likely, you find that the stories are changing constantly. When you hear it, you know, 10 minutes, and then 15 minutes later, it's a different story because they have to go with whatever they're told. They don't have the luxury of checking their sources a little bit more than we do.
Okay, well, we're out of time, but you can pick up the papers tomorrow all around the area, and you can watch TV5 News because we preview the Thursday edition, so that's coming up. Thank you, guys.
And we're online.
Oh, that's right. That's what's the Clarion?
www.theclarionnews.com.
Okay, good. So you're everywhere then?
We're everywhere.
All right, thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll be back right after this.
This portion of the programming was made possible by Curly Tires. Curly Tires is located on Greenville Avenue Extension in Clarion. They offer a wide variety of tires to meet your car or truck needs. Curly Tire is open Monday through Saturday. Call 226-6657. That's Curly Tire. Phone 226-6657.
This portion of the programming was made possible through a grant by Timberland's Restaurant. The Timberland's Restaurant is located near Interstate 80 and Route 68 in the Holiday Inn. The Timberland's Restaurant is open daily 6:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. and from 4 to 10 p.m. Call 226-8850.
This portion of the programming was made possible through a grant by the Pizza Pub. The Pizza Pub is located at 1306 East Main Street in Clarion. And a radio dispatch delivery. Call 226-8721. The Pizza Pub is open 7 days a week for your convenience. Phone them at 226-8721. When other stations are showing their boring programming, only one station is bringing news coverage closer to home. Every Tuesday and Wednesday night at 8 p.m., join the area's news leader, TV5 News. Tune in for the latest in local, regional, state, and national news. Plus, our newspaper exchange partner, the Clarion News, teaming up to bring news coverage closer to home every Tuesday and Wednesday night at 8 p.m.
Thanks for everyone who joined us tonight. Thank you guys for joining us. Join us next Tuesday night. The Clarion County Commissioners are joining us. We'll see you. The news is next.